Okay, good day. So start natin yung part 2. This is for problem 1, 2, 3. A retaining wall shown in the figure is made up of vertical wooden planks having a width of 150 millimeters and a thickness T. The wall is to retain loose earth fill with an equivalent fluid weight of 3.2 kilonewtons per cubic meter. So question number 1, compute the maximum moment acting on the wall due to lateral pressure of the soil. So for this case, wala siyang sinabi regarding dun sa support conditions. So i-assume natin na simply supported siya. So kailangan lang muna natin kunin yung equivalent pressure based on this unit weight. That is 3.2 kilonewtons per cubic meter. So kunin lang natin yung pressure. Alam natin na varying yon, pababa, parang sa fluid mechanics lang. Okay, so let's say this is the pressure P. So paano kunin yung equivalent pressure due to its unit weight? Okay, kunin natin yung equivalent pressure dito sa ilalim, let's say P. Basically, paano ba kumuha ng magnitude ng pressure? Ito yung pressure is equal to gamma times H. So this is equal to P, or yung equivalent ng P is equal to 3.20 kilonewtons per cubic meter. Ano yung total height ng retaining wall? That is 1.8 plus 1.8 plus 0.6 is 2.4 meters. So yung pressure na to will be equal to, that is, this is 3.2 times 2.4. So this is equal to 7.68 kilonewtons per square meter, or the kilo pascals. Pero di ba kapag ginawa na natin siyang beam, parang ganito yung equivalent niya, beam, ni-rotate ko lang siya para gawin natin siyang horizontal for the shear and moment diagram. Paano natin gagawin yan na uniform load? Di ba kapag nag-a-analyze na tayo ng beam, ang kailangan natin na form ng loading should be a varying load siya this time. So para maging varying load yung ating pressure load, ay saan natin i-multiply itong pressure? Yung pressure na yan is distributed to a width. Ito yung parang beam natin ngayon. Mas malaki yung width niya compare sa kanyang depth. Yung depth niya is equivalent to the thickness of the planks na sinabi niya sa problem, which is 150. Yung pressure na to will be acting on the width of each plank. So kung mag-unit analysis tayo, this is 7.68 kilonewtons per square meter. Yung width ng plank is 150 millimeters, or that is the same as 0.15 meter. So ito na yung magiging equivalent varying load na bubuhatin ng equivalent beam natin. So what is the equivalent of 7.68 times 0.15? That is equal to 1.152. 1.152. Okay, kung mag-unit analysis tayo, kilonewton per square meter. So ang may iwan lang na unit dito is kilonewtons per meter. Yun yung magnitude ng W natin, 1.152 kilonewtons per meter. So ngayon, para makuha natin yung maximum moment, kailangan natin yung mga support reactions. So let's say this is, ito yung R sub A. Ito naman yung vertical reaction sa B. Let's say R sub B. So, kunin natin din, or alam din man natin yung equivalent location nito, yung equivalent total weight ng varying load. So, pwede kong gawin dyan, unahin natin yung reaction sa A. This is the summation of moments at point B equal to 0, assuming clockwise moments to be positive. So, we have that as R sub A times 1.8 meters, minus, that is 1.152 times yung total span, 2.4, divided by 2. Yung location ng kanyang centroid will be, with respect to point B, that is 1/3 ng the total span, 2.4, equal to 0. So, first thing to solve is yung reaction sa A. So, this is 1.152 times 2.4 divided by 2. Yung kanyang centroid will be at a distance of 2.4 over 3 from point B. This is to be divided by 1.8. So we have a support reaction of 0.6144 kilonewtons. Okay, then for the reaction at B, pwede natin gawin is summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. That is, we have 0.6144 plus the reaction at B minus the 1/2 of 1.152 multiplied by 2.4 equal to 0. Ito naman yung reaction sa point B. That is 0.6144 minus 1/2, that is 0.5 of 1.152 multiplied by the span of 2.4 meters. So, yung reaction sa B is 0. I-transpose yung value na yan, magpa-positive siya, 0.768 kilonewtons. Okay, so ayun, meron na tayong mga support reactions. Ay kunin natin yung, or gawin natin yung shear and moment diagram. Okay, by the way, hindi pa natin alam yung magnitude ng W natin dito, or let's say, the magnitude of the Y para dito sa overhang. Okay, we can have it by ratio and proportion of similar triangles. Ito yung 1.152 is to 2.4 is equal to, yung value ng Y is to 0.6. So ano kaya yung magnitude ng varying load sa point na yun, dun sa may tapat ng roller support sa A? So this 1.152 divided by 2.4. This is times 0.6. Okay, so its magnitude is equal to 0.288. It is equal to 0.288 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so para magawa natin yung shear diagram. So this is, we have 0.288. Okay? So, kunin natin yung moment, or yung shear. So, yung value ng shear sa A will be equal to 1/2. This is multiplied by 0.6. Yung magnitude niya is 0.288. And the value is equal to 0.0864. That is, papunta sa negative shear. Medyo maliit yung value. This is first degree yung loading, so it should be second degree. So this is negative 0.0864. Okay, plus that is plus yung support reaction. Ano yung RA natin ganina? The support reaction at A is 0.6144. So, we have 0.528 pataas. The magnitude is 0.528. Tapos, okay, bawas uli natin yung magnitude nito. Nagiging trapezoidal na siya. So, trapezoidal na yung kanyang equivalent. So, the equivalent will be, that is 0.528. Okay, yung area lang ng trapezoid. So, that is 0.288 plus 1.152, this is divided by 2, okay, multiplied by yung kanyang distance na 1.8. And that is equal to negative 0.768. So again, first degree, so magiging opening ng curve, it should be a second degree curve. This is equal to negative 0.7 0.768. Then, yung support reaction naman sa B is 0.768. That will give us a value of 0. Okay? So, ito yung equivalent ng ating shear diagram. Ngayon, kailangan lang nating alamin yung point na to. Possible na nandyan na yung ating maximum moment. Okay, since yung point na to is the location of shear is equal to 0. So, para hindi tayo mahirapan, ay pwede rin naman tayong gumamit ng area ng shear, pero it will be time consuming. So, pwede nating i-project ito sa beam. Project natin yan sa beam, tapos mag-summation up moments tayo. Okay, so tapos sabihin natin na yung distance na to, yung location ng shear is equal to 0 is at a distance of x. So, i-cut and expose, then, equations of equilibrium. So, let's say this is the point wherein yung magnitude ng shear is equal to 0. Hindi rin natin alam yung magnitude ng uniform load yung varying load sa point na to. So, let's say y sub O. So, let's say ito yung distance na x. So, again, by ratio and proportion, which is ginawa na rin natin kanina, ito yung 1.152 is to 2.4 meters is equal to the y sub O is to x. So, ano may equivalent ng y sub O? That is 1.152 divided by 2.4. That is 12 over 25 of x. Yun yung ilalagay natin dito. Let's say this is y sub O is equal to 12 over 25 of x. So, makukuha natin yung value ng x na yan by simply doing summation of forces vertical. So, summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. Yun yung 0.6144 minus yung equivalent resultant ng uniform load na to is yung kanyang area. 1/2, that is 1/2. Yung kanyang base is x. Yung height niya is 12 over 25 of x. And that is equal to 0. So, makukuha na natin yung location wherein the magnitude of the shear is equal to 0. And yun yung isang candidate ng location ng maximum moment. So, this is 0.6144 minus this minus 0.5 of alpha x multiplied by 12 over 25 of alpha x. And it's now equal to 0. Shift solve. Expected value nito, let's say around 2 siguro. Yung lumabas is at a distance of 1.6 meters. So, x is equal to 1.6 meters. Kung 0.6 meter yung overhang, yung point dito, yung distance na to is simply equal to 1 meter. Then yung moment dito, yung location ng maximum, zero shear is yung ating maximum moment. So, computing for that value, so computing for the moment, this is for problem number 1. That moment is equal to 0.6144. Gano'n siya kalayo dito sa cut section natin? That is at a distance of 1 meter. Minus, this is 1/2 yung varying load. Ang base niya is 1.6. Yung height niya is 12 over 25 nung x. Ano ulit yung x? That is 1.6. Ano yung kanyang location ng kanyang centroid? That is 1/3 ng x. Ano yung x ulit? That is 1.6. So this is our maximum moment. So that is 0.6144 multiplied by 1. This is minus 1/2. Yung base ng varying load is yung nakuha natin, 1.6. Then, multiplied yung kanyang height is 12 over 25 of x, that is 1.6. Then, yung kanyang centroid will be at a distance of 1/3 of the 1.6. Ito na yung ating maximum moment. That is 0.287. 0.287 kilonewton meter. So this is our possible maximum moment. Okay, so take note, recall lang natin yung sa strength na yung location ng maximum moment is kapag meron tayong point wherein the shear is equal to 0. Possible din naman na meron tayong isa pang point dito na shear is equal to 0. Pero ang liit lang kasi ng shear area. 0.08 lang yung value. Kaya hindi siya yung maximum moment. Okay, for number 1, ito na yung sagot natin. That is letter A, 0.287 kilonewton meter. Number 2, compute the thickness of the wooden plank so that not to exceed the allowable bending stress of 12.8 megapascals. Take note na yung plank natin is, yung beam na i-consider natin, mas maliit yung depth. Okay, so parang ganito yung kanyang dimension. Ang base natin is 150. Yung depth natin ngayon, yun yung thickness. Okay, yun yung kanyang orientation. Okay, meron tayong allowable bending stress, F sub B is equal to 12.8 megapascals. So, is that 12.8? Okay, 12.8 MPa. Since rectangular yan, okay, pwede natin gamitan ng yung F sub B is equal to rectangular, the 6M divided by the BD squared. Substitution, this is 12.8 equal to 6. Ano yung maximum moment natin? 0.287. Mag-multiply lang tayo dito ng 1,000 squared para yung unit magiging newtons, mm. This is divided by, yung base is 150, yung depth natin this time is yung thickness. So this is 150 thickness squared. So computing for the required thickness based on the allowable bending stress, that is 6 multiplied by 0.287 is 1,000 squared para maging newton mm. This is divided by 150 and also divided by 12.8 or pwede kayong mag-shift solve. So yung lumabas is 896.875, then naka-t squared kasi yon, kaya kunin pa natin yung kanyang square root. The square root value is equal to 29.948, 948 millimeters. Okay, check natin ito sa question number 2. 29.948, so sabihin natin pinakamalapit is letter D, 30 millimeters. And then number 3, compute the thickness of the wooden plank so that not to exceed the allowable shearing stress of 0.30 megapascals. Ay, based din dito sa ating shear diagram, ang ating maximum shear is yung 0.768. Ayun yung support reaction sa B actually. That is the 0.768. That is the maximum shear. Yun yung gagamitin natin. Okay. Then, yung allowable shearing stress is 0.30. Ngayon, kung i-recall natin ulit yan, sa number 3, kapag rectangular, pwede natin gamitin ito, yung F sub B is equal to, rectangular is 3V over twice the area. Yung allowable shearing stress is 0.30 equal to 3 times. Yung maximum shear natin is 0.768. Mag-multiply lang tayo dito ng 1,000 para maging newtons. This is divided by twice the area. Yung area is 150 times the thickness. So, makukuha natin yung thickness in terms of the allowable shearing stress. So, that is equal to 3 times 0.768 times 1,000 para maging newtons. This is divided by 2 of 150. Then, yung 0.3. Yung nakuha ko dito is equal to 25.6 millimeters. Okay, so check natin yan sa number 3. 25.6. So, siguro, rounded to whole number. That is letter A, 26. So, ito yung solution natin for problem number 1, 2, 3. Okay, so dito tayo sa problem number 4. A rigid block of mass M is supported by three symmetrically spaced rods as shown. Each copper rod has an area of 900 square millimeters, modulus of elasticity 120 gigapascals, and the allowable stress is 70 megapascal. The steel rod has an area of 1,200 square millimeters. E is equal to 200 gigapascal, tapos yung allowable stress is 140 megapascals. Determine the largest mass M that can be supported. So, ang una nating i-consider dito sa assumption or sa analysis nito, dapat maging horizontal lang yung block. So, dapat maging horizontal lang yan. Kung magiging horizontal yan, dapat yung deformation ng copper rod equal sa deformation ng steel rod. Okay? Other than that, kailangan nating i-consider yung kanilang mga allowable stresses. Yung allowable stress sa copper rod is equal to 70 megapascals. Okay, tapos, yung allowable stress sa steel rod is equal to 140 megapascals. Take note na kapag strength of materials, lagi nating kinukonsider yung weaker material, yung mas mahina. Yung mas mahinang material is yung copper. So, pwede nating sundin or siya yung susundin natin sa pagdi-decide ng mga value ng mga forces. So, again, dapat equal yung deformation. So, kung i-recall natin, paano ba mag-compute ng deformation? Deformation is equal to the PL divided by AE. Yung deformation ng copper rod ay equal sa deformation ng steel rod. So, this is the same as the P sub C, sabihin mo lang P sub C, L sub C divided by area ng copper, the modulus of elasticity of the copper is equal to the deformation ng steel, ito yung P sub S, LS ay divided by area S, tapos ay E sub S. Pero since nagko-consider tayo ng stress, i-recall lang natin ano bang equivalent ng stress, the sigma. Ito yung force divided by the area. Okay, so pwede nating i-consider na yung stress na lang muna yung gagamitin natin sa pagkuha ng relation, okay, doon sa dalawang material. So this is the same as the stress sa copper rod times the length divided by E sub C is equal to the stress sa steel rod. This is supposedly L sub C. This is L sub S divided by E sub S. Okay, so again, kapag strength of materials at given yung allowable stress, i-consider natin yung weaker material. Ang weaker material is yung stress sa copper. Limited lang siya sa 70 megapascals. So, titingnan natin, kung 70 megapascals yung stress sa copper rod, ano yung stress doon sa steel? So, this is 70. Okay, ano yung length ng copper rod? The length of the copper rod is equal to 160 millimeters. The modulus of elasticity of the copper rod is equal to 120 gigapascals. Is equal to yung stress sa steel. Yung length ng steel rod ay 240. Modulus of elasticity is 200. Di na ako nag-unit analysis kasi magka-cancel lang lahat. Okay? So, ang may iwan dito is yung equivalent ng stress sa steel rod. So, dapat hindi lalampas doon sa allowable na 140 megapascals. Okay, compute natin. So, that is, we have 70 times, this is 160 divided by 120. This is multiplied by 200, divided by 240. So, yung lumabas dito is 700 over 9 megapascals. Or in decimal, that is, sabihin natin, 77.778 megapascals. And this is less than, yung allowable stress sa steel is 140 megapascals. So, pwede nating sabihin, this is safe. Minaximize natin yung capacity ng weaker material. So, yan yung mga gagamitin natin. Okay, in conclusion, ang gagamitin natin na stress is masusunod yung weaker material, 70 megapascals. Ano yung equivalent na bubuhatin niya? This is the stress sa copper is the force on copper divided by the area. This is 70 is now equal to the P sub C. Ano yung cross-sectional area ng copper rod? The cross-sectional area is equal to 900. So this is, times, divided by 900. So we have the P sub C is 70 megapascals, or that is newtons per square millimeter, times 900 square millimeters is, this is multiplied, equal to 63,000 newtons. Okay, we have 63,000 newtons. Tapos, kapag 70 megapascals yung copper rod, yung stress sa steel is equal to 700 divided by 9 MPa naman. So, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung 140. So, this is, we have the stress in steel is equal to the load to be carried by the steel rod divided by the area of the steel rod. So this is 700 over 9 is equal to the P sub S. Yung area ng steel rod is 1,200 square millimeters. So ito naman yung bubuhatin na load ng steel rod. That is, we have 700 divided by 9. This is multiplied by, yung area ng steel is 1,200. So this is, sabihin natin, that is 280,000 over 3. 280,000 over 3 newtons. Okay, ano ba yung mga bubuhatin ng mga loads na load ng mga rods natin? Take note na meron tayong dalawang copper rod. So let's say, ito yung isang P sub C, ito yung P sub S sa gitna, and another P sub C sa gilid. So, kunin natin yung equivalent weight. Paano natin kukunin yun? By summation of forces, vertical. So, this is summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. Dalawang copper rod plus isang steel rod is equal to the weight. So, this is twice of 63,000 newtons plus yung steel rod is 280,000 divided by 3 is equal to the weight. So, kunin natin yung equivalent weight. This is 2 times 63,000 plus 280,000. This is divided by 3. So, we have that as 219,333. 219,333.333 newtons. Pero ang required unit sa choices is nasa kilograms. I-convert lang natin ito sa kilogram. This is multiplied by 1 kilogram is equal to 9.81 newtons. So, magiging mass na ito. Okay, hindi na siya weight. So, that is okay to be divided by 9.81. This is 22,358.138. This is 22,358.138 kilograms. Okay, check natin yung value na yan sa choices. Okay, 22,358. Yung sagot natin dito is letter A. Okay, problem 5.2.7. A wooden beam 150 millimeters by 300 millimeters is loaded as shown. So sa number 5, which of the following gives the maximum moment capacity if the allowable bending stress is equal to 8 megapascals? So this is a rectangular beam. Ito yung dimension, 150 by 300. Hinahanap lang natin yung moment based on the allowable bending stress. So capital letter F kapag allowable. This is 8 megapascals. So, how do we compute for bending stress? Yung general formula natin, that is the MC over I. Pero kapag rectangular, pwede natin gamitin yung simplified form, that is the 6M divided by the BD squared. So, applicable lang naman yan kapag rectangular yung beam. So, by substitution, i-assume natin na yung moment is in kilonewton meter. This is 8 megapascals. Newtons per square millimeter is equal to 6 kung yung moment na to ay nasa, sabihin natin yung unit is the kilonewton per meter, i-convert ko sa Newton mm, this is times 1,000 squared para maging Newton millimeters. So this is divided by the base width, this is 150, yung total depth ng beam is 300 squared. Okay, computing for the allowed maximum moment, this is now in terms of the kilonewton meter. Okay, so we have that as this is 8 times 150 times 300 squared. That is to be divided by 6 times 1 million, or that is 1,000 squared. So yung lumabas dito na value is equal to 18 kilonewton meter. So check natin yung value na to sa choices sa question number 5. 18 kilonewton meter, that will be letter D. So sa number 6 naman, which of the following gives the value of x when the W o yung uniform load dito sa overhang natin is equal to 10 kilonewtons per meter so that P and X can be used simultaneously. So, ang problema lang dito, marami tayong unknowns. So, wala yung value ng P at hinahanap din natin yung value ng X. So, dito, nagbigay siya ng value ng W, this time 10 kilonewtons per meter. So, sabi niya, kailangan daw magamit natin sila simultaneously. Okay, what if gawin muna natin yung shear and moment diagram para ma-explain yung idea. So, we need to compute for R1 and R2. So, hindi rin natin alam yung mga support reactions na yan. For a reason, wala pa tayong value ng P. Kung gagawin natin yung shear diagram, so starting 0 dito sa left end, pataas, okay, yung magnitude nito is, let's say that is R1. Okay, walang load hanggang dito sa midspan ng mga supports. So, horizontal. Then, okay, bababa. Because of this value of P. Then, okay, bababa ulit up to this point. Maybe. Okay, then tataas due to reaction number 2. Then, reaction number 2 minus yung uniform load natin is hanggang maging 0. Dapat 0 lang yung dulo ng shear diagram. So, parang ito yung appearance ng ating shear diagram. Okay, ano naman yung magiging appearance ng moment diagram? So, sa moment diagram natin, based sa itsura ng shear diagram, magkakaroon tayo ng positive moment tsaka negative moment. So, di ba yung degree nito is 0. So, first degree tayo sa moment diagram. Let's say, yung moment dito is yung area ng ating shear diagram. So, yung area niya is, this is 3 meters, 3 meters, this is the value of x. So, that is, R1 times 3, that is 3 times R1. Then, so magkakaroon tayo, kindly observe ito. Di ba may overhang tayo dito? Yung overhang dito, sa right end is dapat meron tayong negative moment dito sa may ruler support. Okay? So, yung appearance niya, kumbaga, kung itutuloy natin yung moment diagram, parang ganito yung magiging appearance niya. Ayan, so magkakaroon tayo ng moment dito. So, sabihin ko na lang pala na yung value nito, yung R1 is our moment number 1. So, yung ating maximum positive moment. Okay, so hindi tayo magkakaroon ng iba pang maximum positive moment maliban dyan sa moment sa point na yan. Okay, dito sa midspan of the two supports. So, kung i-add na or i-minus na natin yung negative area na to, okay, expected na magkakaroon tayo ng negative moment. And alam natin pa, I think alam natin yung equivalent ng moment na to. Sabihin ko na lang, this is moment number 2. Ano ba yung equivalent ng moment number 2? So, dapat lang is mag-0 yung value ng moment dito sa right end. So, dapat yung magnitude ng moment dito, yung equivalent ng moment number 2, ay equal sa shear diagram, okay? Sa shear diagram ng overhang. So, ano ba yung equivalent ng moment dyan? So, yung equivalent moment because of this overhang is equal to yung 10 kilonewtons times x, okay? Times yung kanyang equivalent lever arm. Obviously, nasa kalahati yun ng x. So, yung moment nito should be equal to, that is 10 over 2, that is 5x squared. So, di ba, sabi natin, dapat 0 yung nasa dulo. So, kung 0 yung nasa dulo, dapat yung magnitude ng moment dito sa may ruler support should be equal to negative 5x squared. Okay? So, that is negative 5x squared plus 5x squared will be 0. Pero yung shear diagram natin is first degree. So, yung moment diagram natin should be second degree. Okay? So, yun yung ating parang appearance or yung equivalent appearance ng moment, shear and moment diagram natin. So, sabi niyo sa problem, kailangan daw magamit yung P and X simultaneously. And ang gagawin nating basis is yung 8 megapascals dun sa question number 5. Okay? So, para balance yung beam or para hindi lumampas sa possible maximum moment, dapat, yung idea natin, yung maximum positive moment ay dapat equal lang sa maximum negative moment. Okay, dapat numerically equal sila. So, kung numerically equal, ay gagamit na lang tayo ng absolute value para maiwasan natin yung negative sign. Since, sabi natin, dapat equal sila. So that we can use the value of P and the value of X simultaneously. The maximum positive moment should be equal to the maximum negative moment. So, ano ba yung equivalent ng maximum positive moment natin? Okay, ito na yun kanina. That is 3 times R1. This is 3 times R sub 1. That is our maximum positive moment. And okay, dapat numerically equal na rin dito kay negative maximum moment. So, gamitin natin yung 8 megapascals na allowable bending stress. This is F sub B equal to the MC divided by I, or since rectangular naman siya, we can use the 6 times M. This is divided by the BD squared. Tapos, i-assume natin na yung equivalent ng maximum positive moment natin na 3 times R1. This is 3 times R1 kilonewton meter. That is our maximum positive moment na dapat numerically equal dun sa maximum negative moment. Okay, kunin natin yung values. This is for question number 6. This is 8 megapascals is equal to, we have 6. Ano yung ating maximum moment? That is 3 times R sub 1. Ito ay nasa kilonewton meter. Okay, multiply natin ito ng 1,000 squared para maging newton mm. And to be divided by the base width of the beam is 150. The depth of the beam is 300 squared. So, una nating makukompute yung value ng R1. So, that is we have 8 times 150 multiplied by 300 squared. This is divided by 6 divided by 3. Then, divided by 1,000 squared or 1 million. So, yung lalabas dito na equivalent ng R1 is equal to 6 kilonewtons. Then, balikan natin yung sinabi ko kanina na yung equivalent dapat ng maximum positive moment ay equal sa maximum negative moment. Gagamit lang tayo ng absolute value since they are numerically equal. So, yung maximum positive moment natin, that is 3 times R1. And ano naman yung maximum negative moment natin? Ito na yung M sub 2. Okay, siya lang yung maximum negative moment na. This is the maximum negative moment. Kaya lang, again, gagamit tayo ng absolute value. So that is 3R1, our maximum positive moment, is equal to Okay, the absolute value of negative 5x squared. So parang magpa-positive na yan. That is 3 times 6r1 equal to, okay, that is 5 times x squared. Makukumpute na natin yung value ng the value of x. So that is the same as 3 times 6 is 18 divided by 5. And this is the square root of 3.6. So yung lumabas is 1.897 meters. Pero ang pinaka-key point ng idea nito is ito lang. Okay, the maximum positive moment of the beam should be equal to the maximum negative moment of the beam. So 1.897 meters for question number 6. Okay, so yung sagot natin dito will be letter C. Sa number 7, compute the value of P. Okay, so hinahanap natin yung value ng P, pero meron na tayong R1. Ang R1 is equal to 6 kilonewtons. Na-compute na natin yun kanina. Kaya kinompute natin yung R1 dito. So, paano natin i-compute yung P? Pwede kong gawin dyan for question number 7. Pwede kong gawin is maglagay na lang tayo ng pangalan. So, A dito, tapos B naman dyan. Pwede kong gawin is summation moment dun sa ruler support. Summation of moments at B equal to 0, clockwise moments to be positive. Tapos, gagamitin rin natin yung nakuha natin na value ng, yung value ng X. So, yung value ng X na na-compute kanina is yung question number 6 is yung 1.897. So, ano yung mga positive moment? Ito yung 6 times, gaano siya kalayo from point B or dun sa roller support is 6 meters, minus P times 3, then plus, that is 10 times, yung value ng X is 1.897, ang lever arm niya is kalahati nun, 1.897 divided by 2 is equal to 0. So in this equation, ang unknown na lang is yung value ng, the value of P. So that is the same as 6 times 6 plus 10 times 1.897. This is squared since dalawa yon, divided by 2. Then to be divided by 3. So that is 17.998. 17.998 kilonewtons. Okay, check natin yung value na yan sa question number 7. 17.998. Okay, so 17.998. Okay, it is letter A, 18 kilonewtons. So ito yung solution natin for questions 5 to 7. Okay, tuloy sa problem number 8 to 10. A piece of plastic rod is used in a standard tension test. The test specimen is 16 millimeters in diameter and is subjected to a 3,560 newtons tensile force. It results to an elongation of 11.25 millimeters and a decrease in diameter of 0.625 millimeter. The specimen is observed at 125 millimeters gauge length. So number 8, determine the modulus of elasticity of the plastic. So dito, i-consider lang natin yung dalawang axis natin. Let's say yung transverse axis natin will be Y. Yung longitudinal naman or along the length will be X. So yung binigay niya dito na deformation na 11.25 is deformation along X. So sabi niya, di ba, tension test. So, kung yung sample natin ay mag-elongate, ano yung mangyayari sa diameter? So, yung mangyayari sa diameter is, liliit. And nagkaroon daw siya ng decrease. Sabi niya sa problem, ito yung decrease niya in terms of millimeter. That is 0.625. So, kapag ginamit niya yung term na decrease, gagamit tayo ng negative sign sa kanya. Okay, since, again, nag-decrease. So, ang una ng tanong dito is the modulus of elasticity. Kapag modulus of elasticity, that is along the main axis. Yung main axis natin dito is yung x. So, for number 8, ito yung deformation along x is equal to the force along x, yung length niya along x divided by the cross-sectional area times the modulus of elasticity. So, elongation since tension test, that is positive 11.25, is equal to yung force na ginamit or yung magnitude ng force is 3,560 newtons. Yung length ng sample is 125 millimeters. Yung cross-sectional area, yung diameter is 16. So, this is 16 squared pi divided by 4. So, magiging square millimeter. Hinahanap natin yung kanyang modulus of elasticity. So, we have E is equal to, that is 3,560 times yung length na 125. This is divided by shape of 16 squared. This is divided by 4 times the 11.25. So, yung mga naiwan na unit natin is newtons per square mm. That is the same as mega pascals. The value is equal to 196.733. So, the modulus of elasticity of the plastic is 196.733 MPa. Okay, so choices natin for number 8, that is letter A. Number 9, compute the Poisson's ratio of the material. So, ang kino-consider natin dito na changes is x and y lang. Kumbaga, yung changes na to or yung mga strain na kino-consider natin dito ay dalawang axis lang, biaxial. So, bakit biaxial? For a reason, kahit i-consider man, for example, i-consider natin yung, kung i-consider man natin yung z-axis, yung changes kasi, di ba circular? Kung circular yan, yung strain sa y ay equal lang sa strain ng z. So, parang pwedeng isa na lang yung i-consider natin sa kanilang dalawa, kahit yung e sub y na lang. Since, take note, kapag circular, equal lang naman yung changes all around. Okay? So, pwede natin i-consider as biaxial. So, kapag biaxial, ang pagkuha ng Poisson's ratio, ito yung nu. Nu yung spelling niya. Nu. That is the Greek alphabet nu. Ito yung Poisson's ratio. The Poisson's ratio kapag biaxial is equal to the negative the strain in the transversal axis divided by the strain in your longitudinal axis. So, ginagamit, automatic na parang may negative siyang multiplier dito. So, ano ba yung strain in y? Ano yung changes natin along y? So, yung changes along y is the change in diameter. Or yun yung ating strain. So, the strain in y is simply equal to the change in diameter divided by the original diameter. Ano naman yung strain along x? Yung strain along x is the change in length. Ito yung delta along x divided by the length along x. So, i-substitute lang natin dito sa pag-compute ng Poisson's ratio. We have the Poisson's ratio is equal to negative. Ano yung change or the strain in y? The strain in y is negative 0.625. That is delta D. Okay, negative siya for a reason. Sabi niya kanina, decrease. Negative 0.625 divided by the original diameter. That is 16. This is to be divided by delta x. Ano yung change in length or deformation in length? Yung nakuha natin, or given then, 11.25. Ano yung original length? That is 125. So, this is, the Poisson's ratio is now equal to, that is, we have, this is negative. Yung numerator natin is the change in diameter. The change in diameter is 0.625. That is divided by the original diameter, 16. This is to be divided by, the change in length is 11.25 to be divided by the original length. So you have the Poisson's ratio is equal to 0.434. 0.434. So that's the Poisson's ratio. Check natin yan sa number 9. Okay, for number 9, for the Poisson's ratio, we can have it as letter D, 0.434. So sa number 10 naman, I determine the modulus of rigidity. Ay, dito ko na ilagay. So you have, yung modulus of rigidity is, makukuha natin yun kung meron tayong value ng modulus of elasticity by formula. That is E, divided by twice of 1 plus, that is 1 plus, the Poisson's ratio. So, yun yung purpose, actually, yun yung purpose kung bakit kinumpute natin yung 8 and 9 pala kanina para magagamit sa number 10. The modulus of elasticity is 196.733. Ito yung nakuha natin kanina kung 3 decimal places tayo. That is divided by twice of 1 plus yung Poisson's ratio, 0.434. So, this is the modulus of rigidity. That is 196.733. This is to be divided by twice of 1 plus, 0.434. That's equal to 68.596. 68.596 megapascals. 68.5958. Okay. So, 68.596 or sa choices natin, that is 68.6. Letter C. Okay, so ito na yung solution natin for question number 8 to 10. Okay, tuloy natin sa problem 11 to 13. Okay, the entrance of a warehouse has a roof that supports a uniform load of 8 kilonewtons per meter as shown. The supports B and C are assumed to be simply supported. So, kung simple support lang dito sa B at saka sa C, pwede nating i-assume na simple beam lang si beam ABC. Ay, kagaya nito. Yan. So, for question number 11, which of the following gives the vertical reaction at C? Okay, so pwede kong kunin yung mga support reactions natin. So, since we have R sub B is simply supported, pwede nating i-assume na siya na rin yung equivalent ng axial force for column BD. So, yung meron kasi tayong column dito. That is the column BD. So, dun sa support B. So, kunin natin yung mga support reactions. Unahin ko na yung reaction sa B. So, pwede kong gawin dito is summation of moments at B or at C equal to 0, assuming clockwise moments to be positive. Ito yung R sub B times 6 minus 8. Yung total span ng beam is 6 plus 1.5 ay 7.5. Yung kanyang lever arm will be 7.5 over 2 equal to 0. So, i-compute natin ngayon yung reaction sa point B, and that will be equal to the axial force for column BD. And this is equal to, ito yung 8 times 7.5 squared. This is divided by 2. Then, divided by 6. This value is equal to 37.5 kilonewtons. Para makompute naman natin yung reaction sa C, pwede natin gawin yung summation of forces vertical equal to 0, assuming upward forces to be positive. So, ito yung R sub B, na-compute kanina na 37.5, plus yung reaction sa C, R sub C, minus 8 times yung span ng beam ay 7.5 meters, equal to 0. So, yung value ng R sub C is equal to, that's the same as 8 times 7.5, okay, minus reaction sa B, 37.5. So, we have the reaction at C is equal to 22.5 kilonewtons. So, hanapin natin yung value na yan for question number 11. Okay, the 22.5 kilonewtons. Okay, that will be, we have a letter B, 22.5 kilonewtons. So number 12 naman, which of the following gives the vertical reaction at the column support? So yung vertical reaction sa column support, okay, that will be yung na-compute natin kanina. Okay, ito yung R sub B or the axial force for column BD, the 37.5. Ito na yung sagot natin sa number 12. Okay, 37.5 kilonewtons. Okay, for number 12, that will be equal to, dito sa letter C. Sa number 13 naman, which of the following gives the maximum negative moment of the beam? So, maximum negative moment, ang una kong hula dito is yung moment dito sa may overhang. Pero just to do the checking, pwede natin gawin yung detailed moment, shear and moment diagram. So, meron na tayong F sub BD or reaction sa B kanina na 37.5 kilonewtons. Yung reaction sa C naman is 22.5 kilonewtons. So, magsimula tayo dito sa left end for the shear diagram. Okay, yung ating load diagram is 0 degree. So, yung shear diagram will be first degree. So, that's 8 times 1.5. We have 8 multiplied by 1.5. And that's equal to 12. So, that is from 0 papuntang 12 or this is negative 12. Okay, ito yung shear at B. Then, meron tayong reaction sa B. So, magsisimula tayo sa negative 12. Yung reaction sa B natin, that value is equal to 37 plus 37.5. So, we have 25.5. So, tataas. Ito a value of 25.5. Tama ba? Then, 25.5 minus, that is yung 8 times yung span. This is 8 times the span na 6 meters. So, 25.5 minus, this is 8 times 6 is equal to negative 22.5. So, from 25.5 papuntang, this is negative 22.5. Then, yung support reaction natin sa C is 22.5 pataas. Okay, that will give us a value of 0. So again, yung hula ko is yung possible na maximum negative moment is yung area ng shear diagram na to. That is because of the overhang. Yung overhang na AB. So kunin natin yung kanyang equivalent moment that is simply equal to the area. So yung area niya is, meron tayong dimension na 1.5. Okay, kunin na rin natin yung dimension ng iba pang parts para lang kompletuhin natin. So, by ratio and proportion of similar triangles, that is 25.5 is 2. Okay, ilagay ko na this is 6 minus x. Ito naman ay x. So, this 25.5 is to 6 minus, let's say, alpha x is equal to, the 22.5, absolute value lang yung gagamitin ko, is to, let's say, alpha x. Ay, shift solve, mag-assume ako ng value, let's say 3. Ay, yung lumabas is 2.81, 25 meters. Ay, pero yan lang, ito lang I think yung so far na negative area ng shear. That will give us a negative moment. So, yung area na yan is area ng triangle, 1/2 of 1.5, ay yung height niya is negative 12. That is negative 9. So, from 0 to negative, that is a curve that opens downward. So, this is, negative 9. Negative 9 plus, yung susunod na kasi na area is positive na, kaya parang hindi na tayo magkakaroon ng negative moment. So, possible na ito na yung ating maximum negative moment. Okay, just to complete, that is negative 9 plus, that is a positive area, that is, 1/2. Yung base niya is 6 minus x. Yung value ng x kanina is 2.81, 25. Then yung height niya is 25.5. That is equal to 31.641. Sabihin na lang natin. Positive. Okay, so we have 31. This is 31.641. Possible na rin, yan na rin yung maximum positive moment. Then 31.641 minus, that is yung negative area, we have 1/2. Yung kanyang base is 2.8125. Yung height niya is 22.5. Approximately dapat 0 ito. And that is 0 as checking. So again, I think tama yung hula natin kanina na yung magkukos lang ng negative moment is because of this. Dahil lang sa overhang na to. Siya lang yung magkukos ng negative moment. Okay? So, what will be our answer for question number 13? Ang tanong lang kasi is the maximum negative moment. Okay, that will be letter B, 9 kilonewton meter for question number 13. So, ito na yung solution natin for problem 11 to 13. Okay, so we continue to problem 14 to 16. Okay, the cross-section of the beam shown in the figure is 50 millimeters wide by 200 millimeters deep. And point A is 50 millimeters above the center of the beam. So, based dito sa sinabi niya sa problem, kung ilolocate natin si point A, this is 50, this is also 50. Since, di ba, 200 yung total depth, so kalahati ng total depth is 100 millimeters. And, so A is 50 millimeters above the center of the beam and 500 millimeters away from the free end. So, yung distance nito is 500 mm. So, this is 500 millimeters. Assume the 100 kilonewton acts at the centroid of the cross section. So, sa number 14, compute the normal stress at A. So, ano yung mga normal stress or yung mga components ng mga normal stresses na i-consider natin dito kay point A. So, una, this is 500 millimeters or 0.5 meter. I-consider natin yung dalawang component ng 100 kilonewtons. Isang horizontal at saka isang vertical. Yung horizontal component is 100 sine of 30 degrees. Yung vertical component naman is obviously this is 100 cosine of 30 degrees. So kung mapapansin niyo, meron tayong axial force. Ito yung axial force, yung 100 sine 30 degrees, yung horizontal component. Yung effect naman nitong 100 cosine 30, para siyang magkukos ng moment. Okay? So, which means, magkakaroon tayo ng combined stress sa point A. So, paano ba mag-compute ng combined stress? So, this is for question number 14. Yung combined stress is equal to... Okay, paano tayo nag-compute ng combined stress? Let's say this is the combined stress is the axial stress, the force over area, that is plus or minus the MC over I. So, ano yung effect ng axial force natin? Yung 100 sine 30, yun na yung value ng P. The value of the P is equal to 100 sine of 30 degrees. Kaya lang it is under tension. Hinihila niya yung beam. So which means, ang i-consider na lang natin mamaya is tensile stress. Tapos, okay, kung i-observe natin yung direction ng moment, the cause of this 100 cosine 30 is clockwise. Yung reaction dito sa fixed support will be counterclockwise. Kumbaga, yung beam natin is acted by a negative bending moment. So, kung negative bending moment, okay, so ano ba yung mga direction ng mga, or yung type ng mga stresses natin kapag meron tayong negative bending moment? Kapag negative bending moment, tapos i-consider natin yung ating neutral axis, this is caused by a negative bending moment. Okay? So sa taas ng neutral axis, yung stress dito is tensile stress. Sa baba naman is compression. Okay, compressive stress. So ibig sabihin, 'di ba, si point A is above the neutral axis. So dapat ang i-consider natin dito na bending stress is yung bending stress sa tension. Okay, so gawin natin. Kailangan lang natin yung value ng moment. So what is the moment at A? Okay, kunin natin yung moment sa A. Meron na tayong value ng P. Okay, so we have the value of the moment at A is simply equal to ano yung force na magkukos ng moment sa A, yun yung 100 kay cosine of 30 degrees. Gaano kalayo yung 100 kilonewton, 100 cosine 30 degrees na to sa point A? Yung distance na to is yun yung given kanina na 500 mm or 0.5 meter. This is multiplied by 0.5. So this is the moment about point A. So compute natin yung value na yan. That is 100, then cosine of 30 degrees, then moment about point A is 0.5. That is 25 square root of 3 kilonewton meter. And take note, si point A ay nasa tension since above siya ng neutral axis. So we have, this is also under tension. So ibig sabihin yung hinahanap natin na normal stress sa A is basically, lahat ay under tension. So this is, the total normal stress at A is equal to positive P over A dahil under tensile force plus, this is MC over I dahil under, tensile bending stress tayo. Then, mag-substitute na tayo dito. So we have the normal stress at A is equal to P, this is 100. Sine of 30 degrees. Kilonewtons ito, magmumultiply ako ng 1,000 squared. That is divided by, ano yung area ng beam? Yung area ng beam is 50 millimeters by 200 millimeters. So square mm ito. Take note that yun yung effect ng 100 sine 30. Tensile stress. Then plus, that is the MC over I. Yung moment is 25 square root of 3 para maging Newton mm, that is 1,000, times 1,000 squared para yung unit niya is Newton mm. Ano yung value ng C pala dito? Ano yung value ng C dito sa MC over I? Yung value ng C kung gaano kalayo yung point kung saan tayo nagko-compute ng bending stress. So, ito yung gagamitin natin na C. Si point A ay nasa 50 millimeters above the neutral axis. So, ito yung gagamitin natin na value ng C. So, this is multiplied by 50 mm. This is to be divided by the moment of inertia, that is 50. The depth of the beam is 200 cube divided by 12. So, BD cube over 12, the moment of inertia for a rectangular section. This is the total normal stress at A. Excuse. 100 sine 30 times 1,000 para maging newtons divided by the area of the beam is 50 times 200. Then it's plus the bending stress. This is 25 square root of 3 to be multiplied by 1,000 squared para maging Newton mm times yung location ni point A from the neutral axis is 50 millimeters divided by the moment of inertia is 50. This is 200 raised to 3. And this is to be divided by 12. BD cube over 12. That is 69.952. We have 69.952 megapascals. So this is the total stress at point A. Check natin sa choices. 69.952. Okay, so doon na tayo sa closest value. That is, let's say, 70 megapascals. Letter C tayo. Okay, 69.952 is approximately equal to 70 megapascal. Okay, then, question number 12. I compute the shearing stress at A. So, paano ba natin i-compute yung shearing stress sa point A? Okay, so to compute for the shearing stress at A, Okay, kung ikakat natin dito sa portion kung nasan si A, kailangan lang natin kunin yung magnitude ng shear. What is the value of the shear at A? So, di ba meron tayong vertical component nito. This is the 100 ay cosine of 30 degrees. Kung gagawin natin siya ng summation forces vertical equal to 0, obviously, yung magnitude ng shear sa A is equal to 100 ay cosine of 30 degrees. Take note na si point A ay nasa 50 mm from the neutral axis, which means hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung formula para sa shearing stress sa neutral axis. Yung shearing stress is equal to 3B over 2A kapag rectangular is yung shearing stress sa neutral axis. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yun. Hopefully, malinaw yan. Pang neutral axis lang yan. So, since si point A ay hindi sa neutral axis, gagamitan natin siya ng general formula. Ito yung the BQ divided by I times B. So, kunin natin yung statical moment of area. So, paano ba kumuha ng statical moment of area? Di ba ito si point A, 50 mm mula sa neutral axis. Ito yung area na kailangan natin. Okay, the area above point A. So, if this is the area above point A, kailangan lang natin yung area na to and kailangan lang natin i-locate yung kanyang centroid. Yung kanyang centroid papuntang neutral axis. Ano yung distance na yan? Yung distance niya is basically 50 plus kalahati ng 50, that is 75 millimeters. So, yung kanyang equivalent statical moment of area, this is, yung Q is yung area that is 50 times 50, ito yun, 50 mm by 50 mm, tapos yung centroid niya papuntang neutral axis. Yung distance ng centroid papuntang neutral axis is 75. So, we have the value of Q, that is 50 times 50, 50 squared times 75. And lumabas is 187,500 millimeters raised to 3. So, yun. Meron na tayong value ng Q for A. Okay. So, substitute natin. This is the shearing stress. This is for question number 15. The shearing stress at point A is equal to the shear at A is 100 cosine of 30 degrees. Nasa kilonewtons yan, kaya times 1,000 newtons. Yung value ng Q na nakuha natin kanina, area above point A is 187,500. Ayun ba yun? 187,500. Okay? This is millimeters raised to 3. So this is to be divided by the moment of inertia, rectangular, that is 50. The total depth of the beam is 200 cubed. This is divided by 12, mm to the 4th. Tapos yung value ng B, ano yung B or width ng beam? That is 50 millimeters. So this will be the magnitude of the shearing stress at point A. Compute natin. So this 100 cosine of 30 degrees para maging newtons times 1,000. The value of the Q is 187,500. This is to be divided by the moment of inertia, that is 50 times 200. This is raised to 3. This is to be divided by 12. Then multiplied by the width of the beam, that is 50 mm. That's 9.743. 9.743 megapascals. Okay, let us check this value kung nasa choices for question number 15. 9.743. Okay, the closest value is 9.74. That will be letter A. Sa number 16 naman, compute the principal stress direction from XY plane that makes with the horizontal at A. So parang dito, para malaman natin yung direction ng principal stress is Okay, kailangan natin gumamit ng Morse circle. So for example, ito yung point A. Okay, then i-consider natin yung dalawang axes natin. Okay, for example, so parang ito yung orientation ng axis natin. So let's say X tapos Y. So let's say ito yung shearing stress. Yung shearing stress na ginamit natin kanina is F sub B, or that's the same as sa Morse circle kasi ang ginagamit na doon is yung tau. Kung for example, yung assumption natin dito sa taas ni A, yung shearing stress ay pakanan, yung shearing stress sa ilalim niya will be to the left para equilibrium. So kung ito yung direction ng dalawang shearing stress na to, is magkukos ng parang yung direction niya is clockwise. To be in equilibrium, yung shearing stress dito sa vertical side should be counterclockwise. So sabihin natin na ito naman yung shearing stress sa vertical side, tau, ay pataas para equilibrium, sa kabila dapat pababa. Okay? So pagdating sa shearing stress, yung sign convention, ay for example, yung tau is counterclockwise. Ay, di ba parang yung rotation it is counterclockwise. So positive tayo dyan. Positive yung sign convention. Kapag clockwise naman, for example, tulad nung top and below of point A, di ba parang yung rotation na yun is clockwise for the direction of tau. Yung sign convention naman natin dito ay negative. Kasi parang yung rotation niya is clockwise. Then, yung normal stress sa point A, okay, meron tayong normal stress along X. Okay, na-compute na natin yun kanina. Yung normal stress along X, asan na ba yung value na yun? Ito yung 69, yung normal stress sa A. Ito yung 69.9, 52 megapascals. So, under tension siya. So, kapag tensile stress, that is positive. Okay, para equilibrium, okay, pakaliwa naman sa kabila. Ito yung normal stress sa X. As you can see, wala tayong normal stress sa Y. Kung i-consider natin yung vertical axis, yung normal stress sa Y is equal to 0. So, paano natin ipa-plot yan sa equivalent axis natin for the Morse circle? Yung isang coordinate sa Morse circle, yung isang point sa Morse circle is coordinate sa yung normal stress at saka yung tau. So, pwede natin i-consider yung isang part nito, yung isang side nung point, for example, isang side ni point A, yung sample kung nasaan si point A. Okay, ano yung coordinate nito? Yung coordinate niya is yung normal stress sa X, yung shearing stress sa A. So, ano ba yung ating normal stress sa point A? Ito yung 69.952. Ano yung shearing stress natin kanina sa point A? Nakuha na natin yun kanina. Saan na yun? That is 9.743. So yung coordinate niya, that is the 9.74 T3. Ito pala yung mga una nating kinuha kanina sa problem number 14 at saka 16. Kaya lang yung 70. So, saan natin ilalagay yan kung parehong positive? Okay, positive 9.743 dahil counterclockwise yan. Ito yon, yung tau. 9.743 megapascal. Or yung ginamit kasi natin kanina dyan is yung F sub B. Ito naman, sa baba is negative. Negative 9.74. Negative 9.743. Ganon din sa taas. It should be, this one is negative 9.74 T3. Okay? So, saan natin ilalagay yan? Mag-assume lang tayo ng value. Ito yung ating horizontal axis. Yung horizontal axis natin is sigma. Yung vertical axis naman natin is tau. Kung ilalagay ko yan, mag-assume lang tayo ng point dito na may coordinate. Yung kanyang horizontal distance is the 69 point. Ito yung 69.952. Tapos, ito naman yung height na 9.74 T3. So, ito yung point na yon. Yung coordinate ng point na yan ay 69.952 9.74 T3. Okay, ito yung kanyang equivalent point. So, sa ano naman yun sa kabilang plane? Sa kabilang plane, ang coordinate niya is ito. Wala tayong stress sa y or wala tayong normal stress sa y, pero meron tayong tau doon. Okay, so yung isang point na ipa-plot natin is ito yung coordinate niya. So this is yung sigma y tapos yung negative sigma y times tau. Kaya lang, yung sigma natin dito is 0, yung tau natin dyan is negative 9.74 T3. So, saan natin ilalagay yon? Okay, for example, okay, nandito yung point na yon. Kung pataas is, di ba ito pataas, kaya positive yan. Dito tayo pababa, that will be negative. Negative 9.743. So sabihin natin ito yung point na yon. Since ang coordinate ng point na yan ay 0, negative 9.743. Then, i-connect lang natin yung dalawang point na yan, tapos gagawa lang tayo ng circle. By connecting these 2 points, tapos gagawa ng circle. So, ito na yung equivalent ng Morse circle that represents the stresses dun sa point A. So, magbura nga tayo. Okay, so ito yung mga stresses na nagre-represent sa point A. So, ang kailangan lang natin kunin dito is yung angle dito. Okay, this angle. Ito yung equivalent theta. Take note na kapag nasa Morse circle ka, kapag Morse circle is yung value ng theta, pero kapag actual naman, yung actual material or actual sample, it is theta over 2, kalahati. Ay, paano natin kukunin yan? So, ano ba yung dimension ng triangle na to? Yung dimension ng triangle na to is, meron siyang height na 9.743. Kailangan lang natin kunin yung radius. And yung radius na to is, obviously, ay kalahati ng diameter. Paano kunin yung diameter nitong circle? Pwede natin gamitan ng distance formula. So, paano kumuha ng distance formula dito? Yung distance formula is the square root of, this is yung parang sigma x minus sigma y squared plus yung tau, minus yung negative tau. So, ganun lang naman yung tau natin. Merong positive, merong negative. So, we have the distance formula is equal to the square root of, ano yung stress sa x? Yun yung 69.952. Ano yung stress sa y? 0. Wala tayong stress or wala tayong vertical force or wala tayong compressive force along y. Then plus, we have yung 9.743 minus, di ba, meron tayong positive 9.743 dito. Tapos, meron tayong isa sa kabila, which is the negative. Basically, distance formula lang sa analytic geometry. Distance between 2 points. That's minus negative 9.9743. So, this is quantity squared. So, ano yung distance na to? The same as the diameter of the Morse circle. So, this is the square root of, we have 69.952 minus 0 as it is. Then plus, this 9.743 minus the negative 9.743 or basically times 2 squared. So, ito yung kanyang diameter, 72.615. 72.615. So, paano natin kukunin yung radius kung meron ka ng diameter? Di ba ang radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So, this is 72.615 divided by 2. So, yung radius niya is equal to 72.615 divided by 2 is equal to 36.308. Okay, 36.308. Okay, kumbaga, separate lang natin yung triangle na yon. Okay, yung parang meron na tayong triangle na ganito yung appearance. Okay, ito yung R, which is equal to 36.308. Ito yung positive tau natin kanina, 9.743. Okay, ang hinahanap lang natin dito is yung angle at theta. Ano yung function na pwede nating magamit dyan? So, I think it's obvious na this is sine. The sine of theta is equal to opposite, 9.743. Then, hypotenuse natin yung radius, 36.308. So, we have the value of theta is now equal to, ito yung shift sine of 9.743 divided by 36.308. That is 15.566. Let's say 15.566 degrees. Pero sabi natin, kapag more circle, it is theta. Yung nakuha natin dito is 15.566 degrees. Pero ano yung actual angle natin? Yung actual angle natin sa point A will be equal to theta over 2. That is 15.566 degrees divided by 2. Kalahati doon sa actual material. So that is equal to 15.566 divided by 2. That is 7.783. This is 7.783 degrees. Ito na yung sagot natin for question number 16. 7.783 degrees. Okay, check natin yung value na yan. 7.783. Okay, so we have that as letter C. 7.78 degrees. So ito yung solution natin for question 14 to 16.